What's up, folks? Hope you are doing well wherever you are, and you're making the most of life. Just wrapped up my run, my little workout that I do around my neighborhood here, my little personal challenge that I've been doing around my neighborhood for the last 6 years, timing myself, seeing if I can stay at the same pace and get better. Towards the last bit of my run, the last quarter, I realized that I wasn't pushing myself that hard. My run starts off, for whatever reason, I hit this hill going up to start, and hit the hill, go up, get it to the top. Second quarter is kind of a mild incline, but I'm also, for the most part, going straight. And then I go back down this really long hill. And then the fourth quarter is pretty flat on the way back home. And it's just straight. And when I got to that fourth quarter, I realized that I was kind of going soft. The last couple times I ran, I was doing really well and I was making some good progress. Over the November break, I ran 4 times. I was tracking myself, timing myself, and I was doing good. And then I went back to work, right? December, I got sick. My body broke down a little bit, some flu-like symptoms. And I didn't run for weeks anyway, so I didn't push myself that hard. But I got to this fourth quarter and I realized that I got to push myself harder than this. I got some more in me. I didn't put in all this time to go soft this time. Part of my thinking has been changing recently because I've been, on YouTube listening to a lot of motivational speakers talk. I haven't been reading so many books for whatever reason, but I've been in a rabbit hole that is YouTube. And in between my sports highlights and Star Wars trivia, I've been listening to some motivational speakers, folks like David Goggins, Kobe Bryant, The Rock Johnson, anyways, they talk about talking to yourself, and I hear their voice, and then that motivates me to say my own stuff and speak to myself. And I get to this last fourth quarter and I start reminding myself that I got to focus, that I got to push, that I got to believe in myself, that I can do it, that this pain and this momentarily discomfort is what it's about, right? Because if I make it through this hard part, it's gonna feel better, right? I'm gonna get the progress, I'm gonna get the growth, right? My lungs are gonna get a little bit stronger, my heart's gonna get a little bit stronger, my muscles are gonna get a bit stronger, and I'm gonna feel better about myself. So I start talking to myself and I start pushing, I start jogging a little bit harder, a little bit of sprints, but not quite yet, right? I need about a week or so before I'm pushing that again. And anyways, I realized that there's a lot of corollaries between this and leadership, right? And education, especially in schools. We get to December and we're like, shit, what am I doing? Why is this so hard? And for me, I got there too. I've been talking the big talk. I made it through the October, November dip. I was talking like, I'm, doing all this stuff nowadays, and it's not really hurting me so much. I'm taking care of my body. I'm not really feeling it. I'm not feeling bad so much. But I got to December and I was like, fuck this. I didn't sign up for this. I didn't sign up for these letdowns, the frustration, the resistance, the finger pointing, the blame, the failures. And I was talking to my wife and I was like, man, I'm done. And she was like, babe, you say this shit every year. Remember last year? And I was like, yeah, you're right. I actually wrote a blog about why I didn't want to be a principal and spent a couple of months thinking about that and writing about that. And I was like, you're right. She was like, see how you feel in a couple of months. So anyways, my point here is that this last bit of the year, it's kind of like the end of a run. Right? It's kind of like the last 10 minutes of a workout if you're working out, right? The last bit is the place where you see what you are really made of. And it's not even enough to see what you're made of. This is the last bit where you actually can be a better version of yourself. Because if you give up during this time, right? You take a week off, you start mailing it in, you stop caring, you don't have the hard conversations. Not only does it fall apart momentarily or even indefinitely if you never pick it back up, but you don't really get to push yourself a little bit further to be that better version of yourself, right? If you're in the classroom, this is the time when the kids are pushing hard because they're tired. They're ready to be on break, right? Playing Call of Duty, playing 2K, right? They don't want to be in your classroom. And if you're a teacher, you're tired of waking up at 5:30 in the morning, getting your kids ready, packing your lunch, jumping in the car, dealing with that principal or colleague that you really can't stand, or the kids maybe that you can't stand. You're tired at this point, right? But this is the part where you got to self-narrate, where you got to go into that inner version of yourself and say, yeah, you know what? I can do this shit. I will do this shit. And it's not enough to just say, okay, well, what's the bare minimum I can do here, right? It's not enough to say, well, let me just get through this and figure out what else I want to do with my life, right? It's the time when you revisit what you signed up for, right? When you remember why you dedicated your life to this and you push harder, right? If we're talking about working out, this is the point where you're like, why the fuck did I put these shoes on, right? Why did I get ready? Why did I come to the gym today? Why did I put on these workout clothes? Because I was trying to do something. Because I was trying to grow and be a better version of myself. So this is the time when you fight. This is the time when you push. A couple weeks ago, I was talking about December being the time when you look at your goals and you do a mid-year check to see if you're making any progress. And I think it's deeper than that. It's the time when you revisit your core beliefs, your core values, your purpose, your mission, personal mission. This is that time. Because if you could push through this time, you already know the spring is going to fly by. It's going to be easier. But this is the dark time, right? Literally, right? Winter solstice coming, right? Break is coming. So the question is, who are you? And who do you want to be? These are the questions I got to ask myself all the time. Because in this very racist and classist and oppressive system, it's set up to break me, to dehumanize me so that I further dehumanize adults so that they further dehumanize children. It is set up for that. And unless I revisit my core beliefs and say that I'm going to be something different than that I'm going to be humanizing, culturally responsive, restorative, collectivist, communal, distributive, all these positive things. Unless I'm doing that, then I'm going to get eaten up in the belly of the beast. So what I'm saying is that this is the time when you push, right? Figure out what you're fighting for. Revisit it. Don't give up at this point, right? Because if you go hard right now, you know you're coming back stronger in January. A while back, I started having this wisdom of finishing the school year, or finishing the calendar year, December, already setting my goals, my resolution, right? My New Year's resolution. I realized that if I got a head start 2 weeks, a month into it, when everybody else was just dusting off their gym shoes and just seeing if their membership to 24-hour fitness was still active on January 1st, I was already in the stride. I was already ready, right? So we applied this to schools and leadership, specifically leadership. If you can end the year strong right now, getting to work on time earlier, finishing your goals, celebrating people for their success, building relationships with kids and adults, pushing on the goals, urging people to be the best version of themselves, to believe in our children, to have higher expectations of them. If you can end the year doing that, then you most definitely coming back doing that shit too. So that's it. You know, I'm gonna head back to the house, cool down some more, and you know, get ready for work tomorrow. So wherever you are, keep pushing, keep fighting for the kids, and believe in yourself. Peace.